Good afternoon and welcome to Manly 16-foot Skiff Club for the Club Championships Heats 7 and 8. I'm Jimmy Bury and hello, welcome to all our loyal friends and family watching from Australia and around the world. What promises to be a beautiful day on Sydney Harbour. Joining me today in commentary is Andrew Dolly Davola and Jessica Isles. How are we, team?
We're good. Yeah, happy to be back. Yep.
Been a while.
Yeah, it has been a while. First one of the year.
Welcome back, Jess. It's great to have you back on board with us.
Thank you.
It's, we're looking at like a bit of a slow day right now, aren't we? We've got an east-northeast, mainly east breeze, which up this end of the harbour is a little bit sickly. We're probably only looking at about 5 or 6 knots right now. There's a little bit more breeze showing up down the harbour. But right now, not a lot here. Boats who are out here already just pulling sort of one and a half on wire right now. Bit of traffic here with the Balmoral Sailing Club in close proximity. One just on our left here, Jimmy.
Probably one of the boats you built, Dolly.
Could be, actually. Yeah. Taser just flying by us, but, well, not really flying. But, yeah, 2 heats of the Club Championship today. So shorter course with 2 heats. And, Jimmy, what was the target time we're looking at? About 40 minutes?
40 minutes, and it's even on the back of the start boat, Dolly. The compass bearing's even 040. So
40 is the number for the day.
Steve Isles is just making everyone's life very easy.
Yeah, and it looks like our 16s will be doing a compass bearing L3 and 13s L2, so they'll finish down to leeward on 3 or 2 laps, respectively. Yeah, so the 40-minute target time is because there's a ship due this afternoon.
To depart.
Yeah, so we don't want them, the harbour master, calling us and telling us to get off the water halfway through a race.
Yeah, and despite the fact we are pretty well left of the shipping channel, we have had that issue before where the harbour masters come flying down and said, pack it up, you're done. So even though we're going to have absolutely no bearing on the shipping movement, but hopefully we might be done by then. Otherwise it's going to be a very long afternoon for you all to listen to us babble on.
Yeah, the Discovery Princess gets into where we are at the moment. I think they're in more trouble than we'll ever be.
I'd say so.
they're a bit off course. So because of that, our race officer Steve Isles, who you know very well, Jess, being your dad, and Mum's on the start boat as well, he has told the sailors that we will be starting on time.
Yeah.
And
if I know my dad well enough, he will not wait.
He's a man of his word.
I hope they all get here.
Well, right, that's what I was going to lead to is, so we've only got 10 minutes and there's a lot of boats who've got quite a long way to come down from Manly in a very light breeze. So we'll see how that pans out. But right now I'm guessing that there might be a few that aren't going to get here on time, and on a club championship day that's probably not the best option. But I would think that our major players who are in contention for the championship would have got on the water nice and early and should be out here.
Yeah, I definitely saw Red Pump's Red out here, first out I think, and yeah, I think they're currently second on the leaderboard. So yeah, I think good day for them with Zoe Dransfield. I know she, I mean, it's a difficult day for everyone, but she is definitely someone who shines in this kind of breeze. So I think she would be hoping for a good day.
Yeah, Zoe does. You're right, Jess. Zoe does sail very well in these lighter conditions, and I think also part of that is Hugh Stoddart is very good at reading the breeze and reading the shifts. Along with Jamie, they make Jamie Stoddart, Hugh's son. They've made a pretty formidable team.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and particularly in this downrange stuff, they've been sailing exceptionally well this summer. So they were probably a little bit disappointed with their nationals result, but they were always up there in the mix. And I think if that regatta, if the conditions were a little bit different, they probably had their chance to shine. But the level of competition, a lot of the viewers would have watched some of the nationals, or at least followed the results, and it was a very highly competitive championship. We've just had Barnabas Building Imey come past us, and Joel Beechel and Rob Napper on board, but Trent Barnabas being replaced today by son Zach. Very capable sailor, and I don't know that there'd be that much of a reduction in weight on that boat, swapping.
No, I don't think it'd be too much, and if there was any reduction in weight, it'd probably be in the negative side as far as a little bit less weight.
Yeah.
Which will help them. And
Today
obviously Zach's stamina will get through 2 races like it's breakfast.
Yes, very, very solid, fit young man is Zach, and a very capable sailor, having come through all the junior classes at Manly, and he won just about every title that was on offer, as did his brother Jake. But yeah, that leads me to we've got a lot of crew changes today.
Yeah.
So a bit surprising seeing it is a club championship, but there's a lot of sailing events on this weekend. I think might have taken a few away, and I know a few. Buckingham Marine Daniel Turner has swapped out Simon Hoffman, I think, for Alana Clancy. So there's a weight. Simon was replacing Matt Stenter originally, but when Ruffy saw the conditions, he decided Alana would be a better option. So I think that's probably about a 40-kilo reduction.
Yep.
So given these conditions...
and something else that's really cool is it seems like there's a lot of 13 guys who have stepped up on a 16 today. So I guess they're kind of throwing away a club championship race for them, but at this point in the season for the 13s, it's so good for them to be getting some experience on a 16. And today is a good day for it, so we'll see how they all enjoy themselves.
Yeah, and the 13 sailors, if they do step up into a 16 for the day, they get average points for the 13 for the day, so they're not heavily punished. I'll run through a few of the notable changes. So on Altus Consulting, James Hopkins and Rich Dobson are stepping on with Phil Cook. Mm-hmm. On the Australian sailing team, we've got 349er sailors. So we've got Daniel Links, Kizo Tomashima and Will Bridge stepping in. On the Botany Access, 2 young sailors in Harry Thomas and Benny Millam, jumping on with Harry's dad, Ryan. I mentioned Alana Clancy on the Buckingham. Sophie Hart stepping up and steering the Queens of Buckingham today. Andrew St John's boat, Firetech, has 3 13 sailors with Gemma Hopkins, Ollie Barrett and Joe Corbell on board. Flynn Toomey, notably replacing Tom Kunich. Kunick, I have to remember to pronounce that, don't I, Jimmy? We've been corrected on the 18-footers.
You have been corrected.
Jumping onto the Canberra airport with Archie Cropley and birthday boy Max Paul. Happy birthday, Max, 25 today. Nathan Lilly skippering the Red Concrete, and Hugh Skeen jumping on to Typhoon. Will Hoft, Tilly King, very couple of young 13 sailors with Will Troop sailing the shebang. So that basically runs us through those. We've got some signals up. We might just quickly have a quick look at the overall point score standings if we can, Chits. There we are for you all to see. So Buckingham Marine on 13, Red Pumps Red on 15 are the 2 standouts. Good point lead to Geochemical Assessments, 24. Tight with Imagine Signage, 25. Modern Concept, 27. Imey, 28. and Red Pumps 32. So 2 boats with a bit of a standout lead, but 2 races on a light day, Jess. We could
see a lot of change. And given that these results have already taken into account the 1 drop they get this series, and after today we'll be up to rate 8, all going well, and only 1 more race after today. So, yeah, I think depending on how they go, a very interesting day for our results. And yeah, with our 13s, we've got Harkin way out in front on 5 points. Imee next on 20, close to Buck and Simple 21, Buckingham Marine 22, and Bigfoot Bags and Covers 31. So yeah, some tight racing on our 13s for the 2nd and 3rd, but Harkin are looking pretty good at the moment. But as we said, they've already had their drop, so anything could happen from here. Yeah,
Heidi Bates and Orlando Sadlick have had an outstanding season, that's for sure, and they've been sailing on the fire-stopping 16 at times, Jimmy, and they're looking to step up next season, jump out of the 13 into the 16.
Yeah, no, they're very keen, and there's a lot of talent there, and we've got to foster that. And talking about talent, huge shout out to all the Manly junior kids that are watching us down at St George at their titles that are on down there today. So good day to all the kids there. Hopefully, we'll be talking about some of those kids in a couple of years' time.
Yeah, and speaking of St George, we've got Infinity Rigging 13, number 57, who have come up from St George to sail with us today. So it's really cool to see them join our fleet.
Yeah, good to have them visiting. I'm guessing there's no sailing at St George.
There is sailing at St George today, and I do believe the racing at St George today, they're doing a bit of a practice run for the Botany Bay,
right,
Championship. So 1 minute to go here, folks.
And surprisingly, most of the fleet have managed to make it down here. So interesting lineup right now. MCC probably a bit advanced on that line, as is Red Pumps. With a minute to go, they might want to
think about it,
do a little shake, rat and roll and get back.
Yeah, and this type of breeze, it's very easy to get stuck. If you find yourself in a spot not getting much power, it's very slow moving, so you probably want to set yourself up nice and early, but be very careful about going over.
And the tide at the moment's just turned.
It's not helping them, Jimmy.
Well, no, it's not helping them. It's definitely not helping them.
I'll put $50 on a general recall.
Yep, I would too.
Right now, I think there's 1 boat behind the start line.
I don't know what they're thinking is the other end of the line.
So great start from the Bella Group. They were the only boat behind the start line. So they were either too far back or just judging it perfectly.
Yeah, but looking at this start and in terms of wind, they've all got 2 out on the wire. So yes, it's light winds, but I think maybe not as light as we perhaps thought.
Yeah, promising.
Yeah.
Perhaps. I think it's going to get very light when we get up towards that top mark. And
yes, for sure.
The land starts to have a bit of influence. But Dad did, I saw a message from Dad earlier, and once again, like the start time, he said he wasn't going to mess around. So I'm sure we're going to see a black flag now.
Yes, definitely.
So enough mucking around. We've got to get some racing done. So, General, that'll come down shortly, and then will be another minute till signals. There we go. The General recall flag is down. Looked like Red Pumps and Canberra Airport just sort of dragged everyone out with them.
Yeah, and that's something that I've learnt sailing 16s as well, is it's near impossible to actually see the pin. So once people start going, you just need to keep with them. And if it's a general, then at least you're in the pack. And if it's not, you're there.
That's what transits are for, Jess.
What's your transit here, Cole?
It's the 4th rock on the left.
4th rock on the left.
Yeah. Or that tea tree I can see. Can't you see that tea tree over there?
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like all the other trees over there.
I'm with you, Jess, on this one.
Or over there it might be the 3rd nude bather on the left. Yeah.
There's no beach there at the moment, thank God.
It's all washed away. Hence the name Washaway Beach. Okay.
All right, so 5 minutes until our second go.
And I'm not sure who that was. It might be Fire Tech over the far end. They were very late. Can you see who that is at the far end there, Jimmy, with your go-go eyes?
Still coming down.
The one over near the orange spinnaker.
No,
Either way, they were very late, and now they are going to make it here, so kind of lucky for them.
I'd have a guess it's linear.
Yeah.
I thought I seen.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
I thought I seen them at the Bommies when the first start went.
It's the Queens of Buckingham on screen there. Sophie Hart on the helm today, giving the Sale Media team a wave, which is very nice of them.
Yeah, they always seem to be having a good time, those girls, and their outfits are unmatched.
And a black flag displayed team.
Yeah, so for those at home who might not know what a black flag is, if boats are over the line in the last minute, they will be disqualified.
A long wait if you're disqualified in this one to sit around till the next.
Yeah, the second
It will
race.
be, won't it? Yeah. Could almost go back to the club for a quick burger and come back out. It's the Bella Group on screen.
Don't think that is the Bella Group Dull, but
Oh, what do we? Oh, that's Kanaza, isn't it?
is it? Yeah. I was going to
Yeah.
say it's a bit late in the season to still be trying to get your sign writing right.
It is, yeah, yeah. Yeah, the Carranza, but they still have the Bella Group signage on. And luckily, you and I know what the Bella Group do, right, Jimmy?
I don't remember what they did.
Oh, yeah, last week we had Beck Hancock sailing the Sutek, but Mikey has decided to make a rare appearance. The boys were giving him a bit of a ribbing in the park. There's Mikey giving us a wave now.
Unlike those guys to enter into a battle of humour.
The class clowns, yeah, in good form. So Mikey Kerner back on board after being away doing quite a bit of travelling. Down to under 2 minutes now, and the boat's racking up pretty early. They are well back, which is good. Probably Canberra Airport just coming back across on port looking for somewhere to go. So just behind the start boat.
Yeah, it's always a game of setting yourself up in a good position, but not letting yourself get pushed over.
Modern Concept Construction's also looking for this boat end along with Australian sailing team, Hamilton Island. Red Pump sort of not in a great spot there. They're going to get a bit of gas unless they can get forward. Imey in a pretty good position mid-line, but they're just taking a quick little tack up underneath Red Pumps, looking for a bit more space. Inside the minute now. Zoe Dransfield just doing a quick zigzag to wash off a bit of time. Quite a few boats are going to get pinned out at the boat end here. So right now Canberra Airport being held up by the Australian sailing team, and we've got Typhoon, Avlinia, Kanaza and Shebang all being held up above the start boat right now.
Which isn't a bad thing, Dole, with the black flag.
Yeah.
Some boats getting very close to this line.
Yeah, they're starting to edge up. You're dead right, Jimmy. Not long to go. we should be okay, or they should be okay. Nice effort from Alex Hart and the Typhoon just to sneak in at the boat end there. And Zoe Dransfield and Barnabas Building Imey probably got the best of that.
Yeah, I think their speed off the line was really good. They kind of picked the middle, and as we saw on camera, they were dead straight, no midline sag, and they've just, created some room for themselves against the others.
And down to leeward near the pin end, Buck and Simple. Tommy Cameron, great start from Tom.
Yeah, and Canberra Airport have decided to take an early tack and test out the right side a little bit.
Our series leader, Buckingham Marine, having to tack out as well, along with Modern Concept Construction. So a couple of our lead boats in the point score having to take a dig out unless they're looking for that right-hand side.
Yeah, I think at this point in a light breeze, getting your clear air is so important. It makes sense that we've seen a few boats head off this way.
Yeah, getting out in the middle there, they'll be in max tide, and I would have thought if this breeze is going to shift at all, it's probably going to shift a little bit left.
Yeah.
So I'd be looking to get over to this left-hand side, but it's all a game of getting to the pressure first. So they'll be looking for the veins of breeze. The boats that were going out to the right there were fairly high on port tack, but they need to find a shift to get back on. It always can be a little bit tricky in this east-northeast. There, as mentioned, there's Typhoon front of screen, but Australian Sailing Team have managed to just step out on them a little bit because Typhoon's getting pretty badly squeezed by Botany Access.
Yep.
Finding it hard to live there.
There they go.
They're going to tack out. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
we do have some middle harbour boats back of screen that are not in our race, so we'll keep that in mind as we go through.
So they are 16-foot skiffs, so it might look like they're in our race, but they're actually not. So at the moment, they're just ahead of our fleet. They managed to get a start away due to I think we started at the same time, but due to our general recall, they're just ahead of us. So our boats are going to have to, Manly boats are going to have to pick their way through and cop a bit of dirty air from these middle harbour boats will make things even a little bit more tricky. But Australian Sailing Team, Jess, they're looking
looking very good,
aren't they?
Yeah, they've just looked like they've started to squeeze Botany out slightly.
But I think Zoe Dransfield in Red Pumps Red, now on port tack, there they are now, are going to cross everybody. And
they've creamed them over here in the left-hand side, haven't they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they've done extremely well. Their boat speed has obviously been exceptional compared to the rest of the fleet.
And while we're talking about Zoe, we'll give a shout out to her grandfather, Pete Dransfield. I believe Jesse Dransfield's gone down to Melbourne to spend some time with her grandfather. So, Pete, if you're watching, I hope you get better, mate, and thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, all the best, Pete. We hope you're on the improve soon, and not a fun place to be in hospital. Hopefully you're on the mend, mate, and you can be back watching the sailing soon. He's always been a great supporter and very proud grandfather whenever I've seen him at regattas. But there they are now. Look, they're getting through the water really nicely. And, we did put the commentator's curse, picking Zoe, calling Zoe out as a one to watch today. But so far, all is well. Some of the boats that are coming out of the right-hand side, you can see Canberra Airport, top of screen, they're coming back on a nice right-hand shift. So we've got Canberra Airport and Buckingham have done well out on that right-hand side. They've managed to find one to come back on. And they will cross. They will cross Red Pumps Red.
Yeah, I mean, as you said before, Dolly, it's really a game of being first to the pressure. And what I've found in these light easterlies is sometimes the right will pay, sometimes the left will pay. But generally speaking, I find the split will come back pretty close to each other, as we've seen here. So keeping in that clear air, focusing on your boat speed is just so important.
Yeah, so Canberra Airport managing to cross by a couple of boat lengths. So currently they would be leading from Red Pumps, and it looks like Buckingham Marine probably in third. So Daniel Turner, after what wasn't a stellar start, has managed to pick a nice shift and get himself some clean air and get back in the game. A little bit surprised that just off screen Zoe has tacked, which has forced Daniel Turner to tack away, and now Canberra Airport have tacked again to get back out. So that we've got a little vein, see this little vein of pressure. You can just see to windward of these boats now. They're trying to step up to that next gust. Quite a nice little puff here, Jess. Maybe nine knots, maybe a touch more.
Yeah, it seems like it's looking good out on this right side. So it'll be interesting to see if they ride this to the ley line. I reckon they would if they are able to stay in it for long enough.
It does look like they've got pressure. They're just tacking now on Buckingham, but as we get closer to this top mark, we were just having a little discussion before we went on air. This top mark being where it is, this is a very patchy and shifty spot for the top mark. There's a lot of land influence to weather of where the mark is, and you sort of get breeze. The northeast sort of direction comes out of Little Manly, and the east has to get over the hill. Very tricky little patch to navigate, so we'll see how they go. But once again, Canberra Airport just tacking on another shift there, so they've done about 3 or 4 tacks in the last couple of minutes, so they're really working this breeze.
And their tacks are like they're punishing on a boat. They're actually very good through the boat. So
yeah, I think on a day like this you have to take every shift, which means you are probably tacking more than you would like. And so the crews that have really slick crew work, they've been sailing together for a long time, are going to be advantaged on a day like today.
Yeah, Flynn Toomey stepping in today, so they're probably a little bit up on weight. So Flynn Toomey and Max Paul, both pretty decent sized guys, and what we've just seen in that last little exchange, I said Canberra Airport's just done a bunch of tacks, and tacks are expensive, and that's allowed Red Pumps Red Zoe Dransfield to sneak through and probably establish about a 5 boat length lead now. So minimal tacks and working on their speed, they've managed to get back in, and for my money, we're just on the camera cat now, we're just going through what looks like a decent puff, which is heading straight for Red Pumps Red.
Yeah, I think on a day like today as well, especially when it's a club championship and there's high pressure with other boats close to you on points, it's very easy to get distracted about where they are and should we try and cover them. But I think keeping your cool and sailing your own race and being confident in your skills is important. Of course, looking at where your competitors are, but staying on top of what you know best. And I think Red have done a good job on this work.
Yeah, they've just tacked onto that gust that I was just speaking about. So they just rode across it on port tack, and they've managed to tack onto the edge of it, and they'll be coming in. They'll have a nice little gap when they get to this top mark for the first rounding. So a bit lighter up here at the top mark, and as I said, the direction really chops and changes up here. So very, very tricky, but Red Pumps Red have done a great job reading the shift and pressure, and they will be first around. Here we go. Jibe set. Jamie Stoddart, good work on the kite, and that's a really
unbelievable set.
Nice set.
That was
beautiful.
That was good to watch.
Set. Yeah. Yeah, so Canberra Airport around second, also going for a jibe set.
And the fluid, nice work. Clint Bowen's back, baby.
Well, when I was coming back from the club with the riders and the boat names, Clint goes, "Oh, what are you doing here?" I said, "Filming the club championship." He goes, "Oh, is it a club championship today?" And I was just like, "Wow, our times have changed with those."
So chasing fluid, we had Modern Concept Constructions with Kurt Hansen, and a great first upwind beat from Tom Cameron in the Buck and Simple. Then we've got Australian Sailing Team, Hamilton Island, and our series leader, Buckingham Marine Services. Just behind them, the Botany Access, Ryan Thomas with the young guys on board, including his son Harrison. Impressive. Daryl Millam in the Aristocrat.
All right, well, we might start heading down shortly and see this bottom mark action. Now on the
Sutek,
downwinds,
just to the right of screen. Oh,
just managed to save it.
that was dicey.
Very lucky.
That was pretty close. Red Pumps and Barnabas Building, Imey, not in great spots right now, but we'll see if they can work their way through the field.
Yeah, now on a day like today, I think the downwind is just as important as the upwind in terms of picking shifts and staying in the breeze. I would always have my brother on sheet looking behind every now and then to see where the breeze was going and kind of instructing us on where might be a good place to jibe. I think it's very easy to get into a good gust and just ride it out, and then all of a sudden the gust disappears and then you're turning around wondering why everyone else had jibed.
It looks really good, and then you jibe and it doesn't
like,
look so good. Yeah, yeah. But Red Pumps, red, you could just see there on the right of screen, they've just jibed to cover off. There they are, Red Spinnaker, so they've just jibed back onto port to go back with Canberra Airport, just to ensure that Canberra Airport doesn't get any pressure that they don't. But those two boats right now, they've stepped out to quite a handy lead over the rest of the field.
Yeah.
I would expect that they should be able to defend that position pretty well. We do have 3 laps, but we're nearly 1 lap down and they've extended really nicely. Jibed on some nice pressure there too. You can see Red Pumps red getting through the water really nicely. They are nice overhead shot from the drone. A couple of waves to contend with, just slowing them down a little, but they've covered off. There's Canberra Airport now, you can see, just to windward. So maybe a 20-second lead right now, maybe a bit less. But we're getting down towards the gate. We'll see how they fare. Right now it looks like the left-hand gate, probably a little bit more to windward. So it really depends which side of the course you want to go to and how you want to cover off on your opposition.
Looking back up the course, Dole, the breeze looks like it's starting to bend a little bit more round to the right. So looking at the spinnaker angles that are coming down.
Yeah, it almost looks like a whole bunch of these boats are not going to make it.
Not going to lay it. Yeah, dead right, Jess. They've picked up a bit of pressure and they are going to struggle to get to this mark.
Absolutely. Oh well, hopefully they only make that mistake once.
I think it'll get softer as they come across, but there's certainly a couple who are not going to make this gate. So Red Pumps around. Nice drop from them with the spinnaker chute. Always makes life look a whole lot easier than it is on board.
Yeah, and Canberra Airport with the white kite slightly above the mark, so they're going to have to do a bit of an awkward drop here to get round. That's going to give Red Pumps quite an advantage.
The square soak-in is never a good option. So they're just about to come around. On the other side of the course, we've got Modern Concept Constructions on a very tight lay, and they're going to have to drop and do a very short 2-sail.
They're not as deep as Buck and Simple that are almost at Washaway Beach.
So the big winners out of that equation was Fluid Building have come into the mix along with our series leader Daniel Turner in Buckingham Marine Services.
Fluid and Buckingham Marine have kind of gone around the gate at the same time but opposing marks. So Buckingham Marine have done really well on that downwind to catch up a bit.
Yeah, and he really just needs some consistent results. He's just got to keep himself in the mix.
Can't quite make out who that kite is, but yeah.
That might be a Middle Harbour boat.
I think it's a Middle Harbour boat.
Okay.
So
Yep.
we've got a bit of a compression here again of the Middle Harbour boats and the Manly boats. So game faces on.
Buck and Simple finally made it up to the gate after a massive overlay. And good gains from Red Pumps and Imey, as I sort of mentioned at the top mark. I expected them to get through.
Get out of dodge here before we end up wrapped up in some 16-foot skiffs from Middle Harbour.
Oh, and for our 13-foot skiff followers, Jimmy, and you know, we might be a little bit biased, but who have we got leading the 13-foot skiffs?
That's a Middle Harbour boat these
Oh,
days.
it's a Middle
Donald.
Harbour one.
And
Okay,
that's,
sorry.
the Sail Media
I thought they
13-foot
might have been a
skiff.
bit. Oh, well, we'll give them a plug anyway, won't we?
Well, absolutely. Nothing like self-promoting.
I saw the red anchor and got a little bit excited there.
Yeah. I think I can see in the distance a hawk and kite in our 13-foot skiffs around the mark first, but we might slowly make our way up through the 16s and get some 13 action as they come down.
Yeah, we'll try and give you all a bit of a rundown of what's going on. It's a bit hard to follow the two fleets sometimes, but we always do our best to tell you what's going on and bring you a few shots, a few pictures, thanks to our 13 followers out there, supporters. There's Imey and Red Pumps, made up a little bit of ground, but they're still quite a way back in the pack. But they have made some progress through the fleet. That's, what have we got there?
That's Buckingham Marine on screen.
So
Yeah, I always love this drone shot showing how the crews work upwind. You can see the sheet is just constantly in motion. The skipper and sheet always working together and riding every little wave and every little gust that comes their way.
I think right now they're probably appreciating the bit less weight, but I should also add that Alana Clancy is a very accomplished and great female sailor from Manly,
Yeah,
and
so
also Daniel Turner's cousin.
And on screen now we've got Harkin leading our 13s, just going through a jibe there.
Oh, one down to leeward there that I think might cross them with the blue spinnaker.
Oh, potentially, yeah.
Getting dull there from
Oh, it's
Middle
another
Harbour.
bloody Middle Harbour boat, sorry. And
Yeah.
a number of our 13s boats have been sold to Middle Harbour to boost the fleet there, so it can make things a little bit confusing, but yeah.
And then
Harkin
the
stepped
yellow
out
spinnaker
nicely.
there, that's Buck and Simple, 13. They're in second, closely followed by Botany Scaffold and Imagine Science.
Lockie Jansen in the Buck and Simple.
So it looks like a really nice gust above Buck and Simple there that we're coming down to them, which it looks like Botany is in right now on screen.
Yeah, they'll have starboard rights over Imagine.
Well through there, Dol.
Yeah. Oh, they're scooting along now, aren't they? Very
Yeah.
nice. There they are. It's Imagine signage. Shout out to Scotty for all his support. I'm sure he's watching. It's like the Fluid boys. Impressive sailing from them today. They're doing really well. So Clint sailing today with his regulars Dave Burkett and James Smithers.
Just see the big header they copped there. Down probably 15 degrees.
And down pressure too by the looks, Jimmy. But not too far behind Canberra Airport there, the Fluid. They've done well.
Yeah, so really close cross on screen there with MCC and I think that's Canberra Airport.
But Red Pumps Red have just taken another little step out on. There they are now. They've probably, I would think, maybe got close to doubling the lead that they had at that bottom mark. So, like they did in the first work, Jess, they're kind of keeping it simple.
Yeah.
Not doing too many tacks, just trying to get to the pressure first, and they've done it really well thus far.
Helps being on the right side of the pressure when those big knocks come dull. It's huge the amount of swing they've got from some of these puffs that are coming through.
Yeah, once again though, Jimmy, as we get towards this top mark and as we look out of the camera cat here, there's a nice vein of pressure coming out from Little Manly, and Red Pumps Red have just tapped on the edge of that.
You always prayed for them just as you got to the top mark. It gave you extra motivation to get that spinnaker up and skedoodle out of here.
Always very frustrating when the group of boats in front of you got a nice bit of pressure and it ran out by the time you got there.
Nothing worse.
Yes.
I can probably say I've had the rough end of the stick more than I've had the good end of the stick.
I think all of us have here, Dole. I don't think you...
Or maybe it just feels that way. Yeah, you remember the bad ones. Yeah. But yeah, they're just on approach now on port tack. Oh, they're really getting through the water nicely. So nearly at a lay for this top mark. Little 13 should get around before them and not be in their way.
That's the TKM Interiors.
The Kitchen Maker Interiors as opposed to the Kitchen Maker. And here they come.
All right, so about to go down for the second time out of 3.
Well, Hubert's having a little water ski.
Yep.
Come aboard, come back aboard. They're all good now. Not quite as clean as the set they had in the the first rounding.
But at least they've got a bit of time where they can make small mistakes like that.
And marching into contention is Modern Concept Constructions, Kurt Hansen.
Yeah, they've done really well this leg.
Yep, with Chris Williams and Jackson Cranfield. Very good second beat from those boys.
Canberra Airport appear to have underlaid again.
Yeah, they're just doing too many manoeuvres for my liking, Jimmy. They're trying to squeeze up there, but they're not going to get there. So they will be double tacking, which will just allow Buckingham Marine Services back into the game with them.
Yeah, and Fluid right up in the mix here as well.
Yeah, it looks like Fluid have just missed the edge of that pressure, which is unfortunate for them, but they'll get here nonetheless. So Modern Concept with an extra round, and then we'll have Canberra Airport now with a very skinny advantage over Buckingham Marine Services. And we watch the forward hands ply their trade.
Yeah, now...
Spinnakers up.
Yeah, Red Pumps Red did not jibe set this time, but the others behind have. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that goes. But I think Red Pumps Red have jibed off below, and they've got a really nice line down to the bottom by the looks of it.
Yeah, deep angle, Jess, haven't they?
Very deep.
Yeah.
That's that red kite in top corner of your screen.
Off in the distance, they have extended quite a bit. So we're mentioning how you get around the top mark and just get that little bit of pressure and scoot away. They managed to do that beautifully.
And that jibe from MCC, unfortunately, very slow for them. And that's just what happens when you run out of pressure. You've got to make the decision, do we try and wait it out or do we go for a slow jibe and get back into it? And that has allowed Canberra Airport on screen there to get back in front of both of them. Done very well.
Yeah, MCC and Buckingham just missed. So when they jibed, they were very light on pressure. That's allowed Canberra Airport and Fluid Building Services to really advance on them. But there's our leader, Zoe Dransfield, with Hugh and Jamie Stoddart. And they are stepping away, going quickly and extending again.
Yeah,
so,
very simple for them. I think they've only jibed once and they might just need to put one or 2 quick ones in at the bottom, so they've done really well picking that lane.
So that shot nicely just gives you a look at the crew doing their work. Hugh just crouching in so that they can get as much depth as they can. They're trying to soak down to this gate as best they can, but they are going to, looks like they've probably got another jibe to do. Now on a nice bit of pressure again. Hugh extending out just to build the speed. So build the speed and then try and soak for a bit of depth. And they are doing it very, very well. Here's the jibe.
Oh, beautiful jibe. Well done, team.
I think that's the difference with the Red Pumps Red. Like, they've just come off the back of the Australian sprint titles, where it's like a intense one-day training session on how to attack jibe and get everything right. And it's definitely served them the best purpose, and congratulations to that young bloke that won the Belmont sprints.
Our old mate Chris Nicholson. Yep, well done to Chris and his team on the Law Connect, taking out the Australian sprint title. But yes, Zoe and the boys made the 10-boat final.
All right, and on screen there we've got MCC and Canberra Airport coming down. Seem like they're in some good pressure there, and perhaps they are just squeezing a bit to try and get between these marks.
Yeah, just trying to bank a little bit of height while they can, because, MCC on a big gust and getting carted.
When you don't want it.
Yeah, but I think as they advance, they're probably going to get across it a bit, and they should get into the gate okay.
Yeah, it seems like the pressure has gone even further right than it was last time down. And that's something crews should be noticing and thinking about their tactics for the upwind.
Well, Canberra really trying to juice up. Oh, and they've got a taser, so they're trying to get over the top of the taser and not kill them. Taser is on starboard.
Right, MCC going for a jibe drop.
A right turn. I think we'll see Canberra Airport take the left turn.
I think that's where everyone's trying to get to, Dole, with that breeze going right. Yeah, it's a
nice puff there, isn't
probably
it,
a 50 metre advantage to get to the right straight away at these marks.
Yeah.
Yeah, left mark is a little bit further upwind, especially now this breeze has rotated to the right a bit. But what happened on that right turn, Jimmy, is MCC managed to get around and stay in the pressure.
Yeah.
They are charging on starboard.
You're not wrong, Dole. Just like from our position below the gates here, just to the right of that bottom left-hand mark, when you're facing it coming downwind, there's bugger all pressure
It's
out there.
soft.
It's very soft. All the pressure is here on when we're looking up course on the left. So,
And they're high on starboard, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah. So not only are those left-hand turn boats on port tack low, but they're also in low pressure.
I reckon Chris Thomas will struggle to get the wheel back on the botany access. I reckon, young Harrison, you've cemented your spot, mate.
Oh, well, they weren't too kind to their forward hand there. Not quite enough time to get the kite down.
Well, Ryan's never been a forward end, and I don't think Harrison has either, so you know where that's coming from.
Yeah. And there's Sutek going around next.
Sutek boys really showing that they're a bit rusty today.
Yeah.
Then once again we have Imey Barnabas building.
That's Bartley Construction.
With the orange.
Oh, sorry, yeah. Oh, right behind them, sorry.
So, yeah, they're going to take the left-hand turn, closest mark to them for a quick jibe drop. Then we'll have Bartley, Australian Sailing Team and Red Pumps, Tyler Dransfield. So we'll start to make our way up course a little again. There's the Red Pumps and Australian Sailing Team. Tight rounding for them coming up. Looks like Australian Sailing Team, I've probably got Boy Room there. Yep, sneaking inside. A little bit more breeze now, Jess, by the looks.
Yeah, definitely.
So a little bit of a break in the cloud out to sea might be having a little bit of an influence, and the cloud is certainly clearing up over Manly. It'll be interesting to see how this breeze shifts as we get closer to the top mark again.
Yeah, so Sutek and Botany Access on screen there, heading out to the left side of the course.
So they're heading over towards the Bombora area. There's Canberra Airport with a loose cover on Buckingham Marine Services. They're high right pressure on starboard tack. So at the moment they've got a nice right-hander. But it looks like as you get over towards the Bombora, it starts to swing left. And right now, Red Pumps Red is over there, and they will be looking at that left-hand shift to tack onto. Canberra Airport and Daniel Turner in Buckingham Marine Services. Nicely tucked away the leeward of them. So they're just making sure they stay between their opposition and the next mark. On the Canberra Airport, very talented 49er sailors as well as skiff sailors, so they're very used to this intense sort of boat-on-boat racing.
Yeah, they're forward and crouching in a bit there. Seems like they're a bit light on pressure. But looking at the way the breeze is going, I think they're going to want to try and keep this all the way into the rocks ahead. All right, and here we are for the second time for our 13s heading around. So it looked like IME 13 has gone around leading with Harkin around second, and the Kitchen Maker will be around third. So for our 13-foot skiffs, they're doing 2 laps, so they will finish on this downwind.
So they're on their way to the finish now. So good gain there from the IME, that's for sure. And also Taylor Lees in the Kitchen Maker has also come right back into the equation. Great work from both those boats on that lap. Ollie Ross and Charlie Snell on the IME doing an excellent job, but they're going to have to hold off the Harkin. And there we have the Red Pumps Red. They're just starting to probably 100 metres from the top mark now, and just getting a tack in there. We've got our next 13s coming in. We've got the Buck and Simple, Lockie Jensen. Had a very good season this season. Australian Flying 11 champion.
We've got Imagine Signage coming around next.
Another Dransfield.
Yep.
Young Beau. So a lot of Dransfields scattered across this fleet. Manly 16s.
We've got
Seeing Shebang in the back of shot there, just riding the boat with the spinnaker still up, so well done.
just giving everyone else a bit of an obstacle to go around.
Why not?
Yeah. All right, and here is Red Pumps Red, just about to put a final tack into the top mark for the third and final time of this race.
Yeah, look, pretty much a textbook performance from the Red Pumps today. So we'll see how get this one done, and we'll see how they fare for the next one. But I can't see them being challenged from here. So interesting, just watching there, you know, the boys were getting the spinnaker up and Zoe was already looking over her shoulder for where the next pressure was.
Yep.
Probably just saw Hugh pointing just then, so good communication on board. Once again, Hugh looking. Yeah, so great feedback for the viewers there to see how the crew's operating.
Yeah, and the way she's crouching in the boat to get the boys out as much weight off the hull as possible.
And now they've so they were pointing at that gust is on them now, and they're riding it down on starboard tack really nicely.
So that is Canberra Airport on screen. They've just crossed in front of Buckingham Marine.
Pretty tight. And pretty soon we'll have Modern Concept Constructions, Kurt Hansen, coming in from the other side on port tack. Going to be a really good battle between these three for this final leg down to the finish. Modern Concept tacked on just a little bit of soft pressure there, which has given Canberra Airport with the advantage here. They are laying the mark, so 2 extra tacks for Buckingham and Modern Concept Constructions will give quite an advantage to...
Almost switch places from the last time. And I have just noticed we've got a Manly ferry just making its way in, so boats will have to watch out for that on their downwind run.
Always makes life interesting for us at Manly.
Yeah. Alright, a great shot on screen with Red Pumps Red and Botany Scaffold, 13-foot skiff.
Looks like the 13 just rolled across the bow of the Red Pumps there. Nice work. Not making Red Pumps' life very easy, but anyway, they'll soon accelerate and get around them.
Yeah, the 16s will naturally run a bit lower than the 13s, so Red Pumps will have to be working a bit to get above them.
A little bit of a squeeze.
At least they won't be there for too long for our 13s.
For our 13 followers, it looks like Harkin has managed to push through on Imey. Not at the finish yet, so it's not over yet, folks, but looks to me like Harkin might be a bit underlaid on this finish line too. So this could get very interesting. There's Harkin. Just starting to lift up a bit now. They might get there, but it's not going to be an easy lay.
Yeah, they've quite heeled over, working hard. It's always a fine balance as a skipper trying to make a mark like this, between obviously not heeling over too much, not wanting to rag the kite and trying to keep a bit of boat speed on, but they've decided to go for an early drop.
Yeah, they don't really have a choice, and they need to get it done because Taylor Lees is coming charging in with the spinnaker up. This is going to get pretty close here.
Very close. I think Harkin just got it.
Managed to sneak around the pin end.
Yeah, so well played for them.
So well done, Heidi Bates. Taylor Lees in the Kitchen Maker second.
Was the horn late then for Harkin, or...?
Ooh,
Yeah, I was wondering that.
You're thinking there might have been a recall from that first one. We don't know. Either way, Ollie Ross in the Imey in third place. So really good race from the 13s. Nice close racing for them.
Yeah, really good to see good competition. And on screen there we have Red Pumps Red, our leading 16 coming down.
Final approach.
Yep. With Imagine signage, our 13-foot skiff just after. Right, so Red Pumps putting in their final jibe to come down through the line.
With enough distance, they could drop the kite now, have a cup of tea.
Yep.
Hang around for a bit. Impressive sailing. They didn't put a foot wrong in that race.
Done incredibly well.
They'll cross the line. No hooter. Oh, there they go.
There it is.
They're there now.
And Buck and Simple, our next 13-foot skiff.
Lockie Jansen.
Imagine signage and botany scaffold, very close finish here in our 13s. Looks like Imagine will just get across in front.
Yeah, Beau Transfield just getting across.
And here are our next 16s on screen coming down. So Canberra Airport squeezing a bit to try and get across that line.
Levi Windust in the botany scaffold.
So very close finish there. Looks like Canberra Airport just in front of Buckingham Marine. Yeah, really good race by both of them. I think they both had some tricky moments, but were able to keep fighting, and second and third in a club championship at Manly is very good.
Keeps it tight.
Yeah.
Dive code the next 13 through, and then we will have Kurt Hansen in the Modern Concept Constructions, fourth in the 16s. Following him, we will have Clint Bowen in the Fluid Building.
Now, if my calculations are correct, I think that puts Buckingham Marine and Red Pumps Red on equal points in the series.
Well, we hope you're right. Being a school teacher, Jess, you can't expect me to add up like that. So I know it's only adding a 1 and a 2 to something, but I'm still that's strenuous enough for me.
Yeah. That's Sutek on screen.
They've done well.
Yeah, I think they did really well. They were kind of in that middle tight pack on that first top mark rounding, but they've stretched themselves out, found themselves in a nice position.
They were pretty loose at times.
Yep.
They've had a few problems, but they've certainly managed to finish well.
It's not a day's sailing unless it's loose on board that boat.
So
Yeah.
true, Jimmy.
So there's Botany and Imi on screen coming down now.
Joel Deschel on the helm of the Imi with Zach Barnabas and Rob Napper. Not a bad comeback from them from being pretty deep early on. They've just jibed with not a lot of pressure. They're probably going to have another jibe in this, which, there they go. Another jibe for them now, but that should be enough for them to get across the line just ahead of young Harrison Thomas steering the Botany Access. Fantastic job from Harry. Harry having been a national champion in the junior classes at Manly. Excellent work. Great to see him in the 16.
Do we know where Chris is? Is he just...
I don't, Jimmy, no. Chris Thomas, Jimmy's talking about, no. He might be away on holidays or...
You had Munno around for dinner last night, so maybe...
Oh, okay. So maybe not.
No.
Yeah, so that's Bartley Construction on screen there, coming down for their finish. As with the others, they'll need to put a jibe in. May have gone a bit soon, but they do seem like they're in a bit more pressure than the others.
Your brother on board today?
He is on board
Jess?
today. Yep, the regular crew with Dan on steering and Jesse up on bow.
Doing a good job too. You must have taught him everything he knows.
Oh, yeah.
So they're across, and then we'll have the St George 13-foot skiff Infinity rigging next to finish. And a pretty tight bunch of 16s coming in next. With we're going to have Buck and Simple, Typhoon, Geochemical Assessments, Australian Sailing Team and Red Pumps, all in pretty close proximity here. Buck and Simple with the advantage at the moment. One jibe to get in. They need to nail it. Tom Cameron with Tim Lees and Pete Jansen. They'll be next to finish, and geochemical assessments if they can get a good jibe in here, but Red Pumps are going to sneak around them.
Red Pump's on a wave there, Dole. They just use the wave to their advantage.
Yet, though. No, I think it would have been close. Photo. Then Alex Hart in the Typhoon. And then we'll have Daniel Links helming the Australian sailing team. So nice tight finish, bit of action there. Great stuff. Phil Cook in Altus will be next through with James Hopkins and Rich Dobson sailing with him this week. James Hopkins, another great young sailor who's come through the ranks over the years at Manly 16s. Daryl Millam on the Aristocrat, a not so young sailor who came through the ranks at Manly 16s.
Well, both him and Phil Cook came through the Flying 11s at Manly when I went through the Flying 11s at Manly. So,
so they are old, but not as old as me.
Not as old as you, correct, Dole. I'll take anything I can get. But, I think that's just about all the riders home for race 7 of the club championship. I think there's probably one or two stragglers still to come.
Yeah, we are missing the I think Avlinia, the Queens of Buckingham, Cananza.
There was a few of them, Dole, I did see when we were mucking around down here. There was some of the rescue boats were chasing after some of the backmarkers and sort of said, get back here for the next race.
Hang around, we're not waiting.
Yeah. With that ship outbound in just over an hour, I think Steve Isles is pretty keen to get things moving.
Is that Cananza off our port bow there, Jimmy? Who look like they might actually still be going to Windward. What boat's that?
You can't be that is them, but you can't be going to Windward like that, Dole.
Well, they've just got up from a capsize, so...
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the shebang on screen, you had a bit of trouble coming downwind that last time, and they're hanging around the start again. So I think we might all be here ready to go again.
Very, very good with the shebang to, for Ant, like I did see him there, to give the boat to some kids for the day. I think it's pretty cool.
Absolutely.
I think pretty cool, but I also heard a rumour that he looked at the weather forecast and decided he wasn't looking that inviting. But it's actually turned out to be a pretty nice sailing day. So I think, tricky day, but at least there's a bit of breeze. At one point in time, it was looking like it was going to be very, very light. So young Tilly King just giving us a wave there.
Huge smile on her face, obviously enjoying herself.
Shorter event. So they're 3 very young kids on there. They're all sort of 15-year-olds, so maybe 16-year-olds. So great to see them out here giving it a go.
Yeah, and it's always a steep learning curve in the 16 and having 3 people on board and figuring out how to talk to each other and work together. So, yeah, really cool that they're getting out and giving it a go. And the best thing about a 2-race day is if your first race was a shocker, you get to reset and have another go.
And hopefully don't have another shocker.
Yeah. And if you do have another shocker, well, there's things you can drink at the club to help calm that down.
So, Jess, while we're just between races here, since last time we've had you aboard, you've been... you've been working and you've been on a few adventures. Look, we've been following your wild adventures, tracking through the wilds of southern New Zealand. And
yes.
And while you're away, there was something fairly exciting happened.
Yeah, I got engaged on a mountain in New Zealand with snow and waterfalls everywhere, and it was just, Good time.
and mud and leeches and
and haven't showered for a week and all that good stuff as well. But yeah, overall, good.
So
Yeah.
a big congratulations from all of us here at Sale Media, and I'm sure
Thank you.
everyone at Manly 16. So do you need the have you set a date yet?
We have set a date, yes.
So do you need to check with me and Jimmy as to whether we're free that day to come along, or would you like us to live stream?
Yeah,
Maybe we could live stream the wedding to YouTube for
Make
you.
a nice video for me.
Because I know
be
you've got a lot of fans, especially at school.
Yeah.
Well, better still, it's not on a club championship day, right, Jess?
Oh, well, it's a long weekend, so we'll see how that
Perfect. No, just so there's the Queens of Buckingham finish, just coming to the finish with Fire Tech behind them.
There they go. But yeah, huge congratulations from all of us, Jess. And I know I saw your parents just after the news was announced, and they were
Yep.
very, very, very happy. And
Yes, they are.
they tell me he's a lovely, lovely man.
He is
So,
lovely. Yeah, very exciting time.
Yeah. So we're just, I think that's everyone. I think we've got everyone down now. There might be one more 16 coming, but I don't think Steve is going to waste too much time here. Time-wise, we're 3:28. That ship was leaving the quay at 4, was it, Jimmy, or were we
I think
expecting it at the
it's
heads?
due here at outbound at 4:45 this afternoon, I believe.
So if we get underway fairly shortly, we should be fine. We'll see. We'll try and get eyes on the back of the start boat and see. I would expect we'll do a 3 and a 2 again.
Well, they might, finish us up to windward this time, so we're a bit closer to the club.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, I just came up here to get out of the.
Out of all the tasers way, but it looks like that must be a bit of a traveller's trophy or something, because the Balmoral fleet of tasers isn't usually of that sort of number. It looks like there's more boats than normal. But bigger taser fleet. So something going on at Balmoral today, but their windsurfer fleet is away today over at Dobroyd Aquatic for a summer series heat. A couple of them were saying they might have been watching the live stream because there was no wind there. So I got a couple of messages from my windsurfer buddies.
So it's a funny place to sail up there at Drummoyne Aquatic Club. I've sailed there once back in a youth development program weekend, and we didn't really achieve anything other than sitting on the beach because not a lot of breeze gets in there, but it's quite an interesting little part of the harbour.
I actually enjoy racing there because it's always very shifty. And I've got to say they are doing an excellent job up at Dobroyd Aquatic fostering junior sailing, which, as we do at Manly, we love to see more young people getting into sailing, healthy sport that is a sport for life. So anyone watching who have kids who might be interested in having a go at sailing, please contact the Manly 16s, or if you're down on southern Sydney, contact the St George Sailing Club, which is part of the Manly St George family.
The easy email is nice and simple, Dole. Sailing at manlyskiff.com.au.
Thank you, Jimmy. Always on the ball with the information. So, if you've got kids that want to get into sailing, please contact the club. We're happy to accommodate you and get your kids sailing.
Right, it looks like our start boat is on the move here. So that breeze must have swung a bit and they're going to reset the start line somewhere else.
Yeah, breeze a little bit more in the right now, but what I think might be the case there, maybe, Jess, is we could have moved the top mark across, but moving the top mark across would bring it closer to the shipping lane.
Yep.
So we'll just see if they are just going to drop back or whether maybe we're going to move across to the left towards the Bombora a little maybe.
Always a difficult thing for the race committee, isn't it? Like, they'll pick up from here, they'll go move over there, and the breeze will swing back to where it was. Yeah, it's just you don't envy the race committee members. They do an awesome job at all events. You know, like they try their hardest to get it right, but unfortunately, sometimes the weather doesn't cooperate with what they're trying to achieve. And
I think we're so lucky here that they are all volunteers, but they are so committed to putting on the best race they can for our sailors. And it doesn't go unnoticed. We really appreciate our volunteers. I think I say that every time I come on here commentating, but I don't think it can be said any less.
You're just buttering them up when you get back into a boat. I know what you're up to, Jess.
Yeah.
Matana with a little sound signal and the follow me flag up. And I've just noticed we're given a bit of a bum steer on the Altus Consulting. We don't actually have James Hopkins, as our cheat sheet was telling us. We have James Pennington.
Uh-huh.
So both of those Jameses came through Manly's junior fleet at about the same time. But yeah, it's actually James Pennington on Altus.
Yeah, now one big name that we don't have here today is Imagine Signage. Do we know where those boys are at?
No, I'm
good question.
Not sure actually, Jess. I was sailing against Mal Page last weekend in the Etchell Championships, with which Mal won. I was quite a bit further back than that, but
that far back, Dol?
No, we were hanging in there, but no, great event.
Had to take off your shoes and socks to counter your position, but
no, just made it with my shoes off. Yeah, yeah, I'm not sure where they are today. Perhaps maybe Malcolm might be up doing the ORC Championships at Pittwater, maybe. Not sure.
Quite possibly.
Which I was invited to go to, but I just couldn't resist a day on the camera cat with you, Jimmy.
Thanks, Dol.
Much more attractive option.
First time I've been called attractive. Well, they didn't move far.
We didn't move too far, have we? Maybe 150 metres.
Which, with that length that the breeze, or the angle that the breeze is swinging, is probably about right. You know, it's probably, we'll get underway pretty quickly, I reckon.
Is the pin boat over there? I can't see them just yet.
No, that's another good point, Dol. We sort of need one of them to have a line, don't we?
Does help. Yeah, I can't actually see the pin boat around anywhere. Still no instructions on the committee boat there that we're looking at as to course instructions. Too far away, but we do need to get this start line. There's the pin boat, I think, is it just over?
Yep, there they are.
Yeah. Just to the left of the committee boat there. But they're not where they are meant to be just yet. There's our race 7 race heat 7 of the club championship winner, Zoe Dransfield, Hugh Stoddart and Jamie Stoddart on the Red Pumps Red.
Was I reading right? You'd probably know better than most, Dol. that boat and the red pumps are both for sale and getting new ones next year?
At this point in time, I believe the red pumps red has been sold.
Ah.
Red pumps not as yet. So still having some discussions about boat options, new boat options. Jimmy?
Right. I'll leave that there.
Yep. Work in progress.
Very good.
The Australian sailing team boys from the 49ers just having a little chin wag with the MCC boys. Kurt Hansen steering the MCC, also a 49er sailor, so all those guys are pretty good friends, do a lot of regattas together and travelling.
And a lot of training during the week together.
Indeed. They all know each other pretty well by now. But also really helps hone their skills when they jump into the 16. You go from a difficult two-handed boat to a three-handed boat, makes it a little bit easier. Forward hand has a little bit less to do on the 16 compared to the 49er. Yeah, breeze a little bit into the right and maybe a touch softer but more consistent.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think something that our race committee would be doing now is just taking a minute to really look at the breeze, looking at the shifts so they can set a fair start line. I think you can't just set a line based on the breeze you have right now. You've got to kind of take some average over time to make sure it's right. And in saying that, it looks like that anchor on the start boat is coming up.
Yeah.
Yes, I know one thing that Steve, my dad, really wants to do well is set a really fair race, and he will not be happy with himself if he doesn't get it close to perfect. So it doesn't surprise me that he's going to take his time here and try and get it really good.
Family of perfectionists, perhaps, Jess?
Potentially.
Moving further left.
Yeah, well, that breeze is now, it's sort of true easterly, isn't it?
Yeah, and it seems like it's settling where it is.
As I mentioned, you know, if we want to get that top mark dead upwind and not too close to the shipping lane, we really need to move over a bit further, I think, because right now, if we'd started where we were, the mark would have been to the top mark would have been to the right of North Head, which might have got us into a bit of strife with the Port Authority.
Yeah, any other day, the starters would use the sound, but it's very unusual for especially a cruise ship to be departing that early in the afternoon. They normally leave after 6 p.m. and they arrive before 6 a.m. in the morning, so...
You're often out there filming them, aren't you, Jimmy?
Sometimes. Love an early start, Dole.
Yeah, but I think this will call for an exciting race. Very different to the last race, given the change of course. And our sailors will have to kind of have a good think about where they'll need to go this time, because it'll just be different.
Just looking forward, Jimmy, I think next week we are bringing the viewers is it next Saturday we've got the Botany Bay Championship?
Botany Bay Championship, yeah, will be live and free for the Botany Bay Championship, and then, yeah, so I think it's a slightly earlier start, being a longer race, so it's one to not miss. It's definitely a a challenge for our team with the airport smack bang in the middle of the race course with what we can and can't do with drones down there, but we'll do our best to bring you as much action as we can.
For those not familiar with the Botany Bay Championship, it's sort of a marathon race right around the bay, down at Botany Bay, and then out from the river at St George, out into the bay, lap around the bay, and then back to the finish back at St George. Jimmy and I have done a few of those, and it's always, and you too probably, Jess, you've done a few Botany Bay Championships. It's a great, I always really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it's one of the things I look forward to most in a season.
Yeah, especially when you had a bit of breeze. I loved the Botany Bay race.
Yeah. Now, do we know if it's just 16s this year, or are the 13s back in it?
Question without notice, Jess.
All right, I'll pretend I didn't say anything.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm sure
Right.
we've got...
Hey Siri.
So, hold on, I'm getting some messages through. And why, when you say, hey Siri, my phone starts going? What have you been up to, Dol? It's the 116th running of the Botany Bay Championship is one of the messages I'm just getting through. And I'm sure we'll get the rest of the message from Graham when the live stream catches up down at St George.
116 years, that's a lot of history, isn't it?
Yeah, and if any of the viewers, if you ever get the time to go down to St George, go down there, have lunch. It's a great club, but have a look at the Stewart Shield, which is the shield that they race for. It is one of the best trophies I've ever seen.
It is. It's impressive. Yeah.
It is absolutely awesome.
I don't think I could lift it up anymore.
I don't think I could lift it up back when we were sailing, Dol.
Now, I have had a message come through with our 13-foot skiffs, and unfortunately, Harkin was a black flag disqualification in that first race.
Ouch, there goes their picket fence.
Yeah, so they did extremely well, but I think that will be the race they'll be counting on dropping in their series.
Good
Well, they got a pretty good rest of their scorecard.
They do, yes. I think they were dropping a second before that one, so they've done well.
Okay, so information from our director. We do have 13s entered for the Botany Bay Championship.
Excellent.
So far we have 10 13-foot skiffs entered, and I would expect those entries to probably increase.
Yeah, I think something about skiff sailors is they're often a bit lazy with their old entries, so come on guys, get onto it, get your entries in. Exciting day next week. Now, as we can see on screen there, we have an 080 course, and we are finishing to leeward, which I think for a second race is a bit unusual. Normally we'll finish upwind, but given that ship coming in, they might just want to keep everyone away from that end of the course. So same number of laps as the last race.
Yep, just bearing has swung around a bit to the right. And same course length, but maybe this pressure's just a bit more consistent now, I think. So this next race may not be so dependent on sort of shift tactics as boat speed, I think.
I'll tell you what, Dol and Jess, I think maybe we shouldn't live stream. We should go get ourselves a boat because there's $35,000 in prize money in the pool. So
All right.
I reckon we could string it together to get a bit of that money. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
In for that. Yeah.
I'll get big Matty Coleman. He can drive the camera boat, and we'll find some other commentators.
We'll get Shippo out.
Yeah, we'll get Shippo out. He's
drag him out for a Saturday. He might have to take a day off sailing his old clunker yacht, the old school.
just got a picture sent to me from Adam Gilzo, with his brand new bub. We've managed to put her to sleep in front of watching the sail media. So
Very sweet.
We'll put anyone to sleep, Gilzo. You'll be next, mate. we're not too far off. I think Steve just on radio communications to the mark boat, getting the top mark in position, I think. They can leave the gate for a little while until we get underway, because by the time the boats get up to the top, the mark boat will be able to grab those pin marks and gate marks and shift them across. Pin boat's now in position down the leeward end of the line. Probably not too far off orange flags going up in the line opening. All the sailors being very patient.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, after today we've got one more heat of the club championship in coming weeks. It'll be one long course race, and yeah, hopefully it looks like it'll probably come down to hopefully a decider for the last race. It's always good for a bit of a sail off the end of the season to decide, and as we've seen in the past few years, it's pretty tight and never over until it's over.
Alright, so it looks like our orange flag has just gone up on our start boat, so that'll be 1 minute until our 5-minute gun. Yeah, so I think as a sailor on a day like today, you use up a lot of concentration in the first race. You've got to give yourself a chance to kind of relax and
Reset.
And then as soon as that orange flag gets back up, that's your time to, yeah, start thinking and get your head back in the game.
It's looking really nice now. I'm kind of, earlier on today I thought we might get a bit of breeze and then it might shut down later in the afternoon, but right now we've a little bit of build-in pressure perhaps and much more consistent. So expecting to see a nice race, and maybe this race might be a little bit quicker than the last one. Line to me looks like it might be a little bit maybe pin favoured. We'll see what they elect. If you don't want to get out to that left-hand side, you may not want to start down the pin end, but line looks like it's slightly pin favoured.
Yeah, and look, they may have done that potentially on purpose. If they think that the right side of the course is favoured, they might very slightly bias the pin in to kind of even out the line more.
You get the pin up too, and it tends to, you don't get as many general recalls or recalls. Let's see what flag Dad's going to put up next.
Yeah.
Well, the next one will be the class flag.
Yeah. But no, I mean for the 4-minute preparatory. Whether he's going to play nice or give it to them straight away. Personally, I'd be giving them a black or a U flag straight away.
Yes.
Not muck around.
Yeah, given where this line is positioned as well, if you do start at the pin end, you don't have a huge amount of runway to get a nice tuck in, because the cliff is a lot closer than it was last race, so that'll be something else to consider.
Yeah, it looks like it might be a little bit soft over in that left-hand side too. The breeze compresses against the cliff face a bit and lifts off. Seeing if I can you see a mark up there yet, Jimmy?
Yeah, it's just coming along just past where the divers normally are on North Head. It's still tracking.
Yep,
Oh, not quite dropped yet.
not quite in. And we do have a black flag up at 4 minutes.
Whoa.
Go, Dad. Tell him who's boss.
Yeah.
There's the Stewart Shield from St George. So the photo, as nice as what that is, does not do that trophy justice. You need to see that thing in real life. So
It's big.
it's huge.
It's really big. So you can understand if I couldn't lift it, but if Jimmy reckons he can't lift it, then I don't know who can.
Well, I think probably one of the heaviest trophies past that is the state title trophy. That,
It's a monster as well, isn't
like,
it?
of the anchor on board this boat weighs less than that thing.
So everyone looking a little bit disorganised right now with
Yeah, I was just thinking that too.
2:43 to go. There's a couple sitting there lined up really early. Buckingham, Australian sailing team, Kanaza, probably in there too early. Red Pump's currently above the line. Avlinia well above the line. If they don't get a wriggle on in the next minute, they will be disqualified,
Yeah.
being a black flag start and on the wrong side of the line. Under 2 minutes just now. So Daniel Turner really committed early down at that pin end, and I'd expect shortly he will be either jibing or tacking to come back and give himself a bit of space, because right now he's past the pin, and I don't think he could tack there and port tack the fleet, but you never know. That'd be a high risk move when you're leading the point scorer. So he's jibing now, bottom right of screen.
Yeah.
So-
I think he'll make his way down the line a bit and find a good little hole to get himself into. And it looks like our top mark is being dropped perhaps about halfway between Flagstaff and the edge of North Head.
Yeah, so that little headland there where it's been dropped, it's not very well known, but it is called Quarantine Head. About halfway along there, Jess.
Cool.
Not too far from Old Man's Hat, Jimmy.
Correct. Just going to have to come up here on the line because there's a few boats
Coming
just
in high and late at the boat end.
Yeah.
We might just be a little bit in the way, Jimmy, yeah. So Daniel Turner really committed down towards that pin end and in a little bit of trouble just now. So he got head to wind and he's had to tack.
Forced tack.
Canberra Airport down there. Canberra Airport looking to do a port hander.
Also tack back. I think they've gone a bit soon if that's what they're after.
Australian
right on
sailing
the
team
limit.
very close to being over, I would have thought. We weren't in line, but they were well advanced.
Yeah, I think they may have
They're
just
over.
squeezed themselves out then.
Yeah, Australian sailing team are gone there.
Yeah,
There's
it almost
no
seems
way.
like that breeze has swung back to the left and these boats were kind of struggling to get over the line. A lot of boats starting on port tack.
Yeah, it did end up being, as I said before, pin end favoured. And guess who got probably the best of down near that pin end was Red Pumps Red, right in the mix. Probably the only person that got off the line better than them was Barnabas Building Imey, Joel Beechel. Excellent start from Joel, but already. And also Red Pumps is down there. So both Red Pumps boats down the pin end. So Tyler Dransfield and Zoe Dransfield both with good starts along with Joel Beashel.
All right, so yeah, there's a great shot on screen there with red pumps red, Barnabas building, and the other red pumps just behind Barnabas.
Looks like red pumps red will not cross Buckingham Marine Services. No, they won't. So right now that probably gives the lead to Buckingham.
Yeah, they did really well off that start. Kind of put a tack in early, sailed on port for a bit, found themselves a really nice line and have tacked back and are now fairly comfortably covering their competitors.
So Daniel Turner, Buckingham Marine has tacked. There they are, right of screen, chemical assessments, and Buck and Simple, whereas front of screen, Harrison Thomas steering Botany Access, doing well. They've come off the line well and in a pretty good position.
Yeah, and Butley Construction also had a good start in the mix on screen there.
Young Harrison Thomas does something his uncle doesn't do, and that's hike.
Hope you're watching, Chris. Nice step out from Buckingham Marine Services. There they are. Now they've in this early exchange they have stepped out very nicely. Only done one tack thus far, whereas we've got both the red pumps boats, Canberra Airport out on the far right. So Daniel Turner taking a leaf out of Zoe Dransfield's playbook from the first race and keeping things simple and to a minimum.
Yeah, so there's both our red pumps and Altus on screen there, taking a dig out to the left a little bit. I think it can be easy to get caught up in a nice line of pressure, but you do have to keep your eyes up the course and remembering that that top mark went in only just before they started, so boats will need to keep an eye on where it is and kind of reset their game from last race.
Yeah, different breeze direction, slightly bit different strength, and the course in a different lay around to the right. So you're dead right, Jess. It's a real reset of how they're going to approach this.
Yeah, it does seem like Altus have a nice line of pressure coming down on them soon, but they are coming a long way left compared to everyone else.
They're almost out on the lay here.
Yes.
Yeah, and they've just missed that puff, haven't they, Jimmy? They've basically sailed around a gust there, and now on port tack and not very high. They're going to be bowed down to the rest of the fleet.
Yeah.
But back into contention now, and high left on port tack is red pumps red.
Yeah, and back of screen we have Sutek and Canberra Airport who have gone further out to the right, so interesting to see what happens when they cross back, but from what I can see, I think those right-hand boats might have a slight advantage at this stage.
Sutek very high starboard tack, aren't they, Jess?
Yeah, very high.
So if they can hold that pressure, I'd expect them to come back well. And who's the other boat we've got out there besides Canberra? Is that the Australian sailing team?
Yeah.
Yes.
99.9% sure will be disqualified on that black flag start. Modern Concept Construction's also out on the right-hand side, doing well.
Yeah, so Sutek just knocking down slightly there, a bit of wash to work their way through, and red pumps red on screen, just staying in the pressure.
Yeah, they were so high on right before, it really looked like it was going to be too good to last, and it was. But the Sutek, they're doing very well. Red Pumps coming in from the left-hand side. There's the two boats.
Yeah, Sutek have picked this really nicely. I think maybe a bit of luck at the start with tacking off early, but I'm sure they looked up course and kind of picked their way through. They've stayed in the pressure. They will need to put another tack in to get to the lay, but they are approaching the top mark. With Australian sailing team not too far behind.
And as I say, we believe that we haven't had confirmation, but they were well over the line.
Yes, they were.
When the start gun went. Sutek with a nice little loose cover on Red Pumps Red.
Tell you what, if Sutek go on with it, the club is not safe tonight. It's not a safe place to be tonight with those lunatics.
But the one thing I do love about the boys on Sutek is they have a lot of fun, but when it's time for them to lock in and sail hard, they really switch on, and they've been sailing together for years and years now, and their crew work, I'm sure, is down pat. So when they get an opportunity, I hope they can hold on to it.
Generally, the emphasis is on a lot of fun.
Yeah, so interesting that, they're a bit
soft
below the line, but
soft and underlaid.
Yeah, Red Pumps Red almost tacked underneath them, so maybe they've seen something we haven't.
That's the Australian sailing team trying to squeeze up. They are getting around the bow of Sutek, but not sure that's going to last.
Yeah, very, very slow at that angle. At this point, I would be telling my crew to have weight in a touch and just try and keep that leeward heel on the boat. And it really helps you keep the height in this lighter air. Yeah, so well done to Sutek. They've gotten around nicely. And MCC have snuck in there as well.
Another bit of a loose bear away from the Sutek boys, but they've got around and the kite's up and they're away. Double tack for the Australian sailing team was expensive.
And Red Pumps Red on screen needing to put in a double tack as well.
Modern Concept third around the mark, but as I say, they will be second on course, we believe.
Yep,
yeah, we'll try and get confirmation for you from the race committee boat about the Australian sailing team. Our timing could have been off on ours, but I doubt it.
I was looking at the flag going down.
Yeah, well, that's what I was looking at it as well, Dole, but stranger things that happen.
Indeed. So Red Pumps narrowly in front of Buckingham Marine Services and Canberra Airport. Next around we'll have Barnabas Building, IME, and again Clint Bowen in the fluid with James Smithers and Dave
Who's
Burkett.
going home?
They are
the fluid's
too.
going home.
It's a shame they're going well. It's an interesting tactic. Aristocrat, Red Pumps, Bartley Construction, Geochemical Assessments, Botany, Access and Typhoon, all within very, very close proximity. There they all are. Spinnakers managed to get up and they've separated a little.
Yeah, once again, a very tight start for this race, as with last race. So it's going to take our sailors a lot of patience, but a lot of fight to try and get that clear air and push ahead of their competitors. And there's Sutek on screen, our current leader for this race. Seem to be in a nice bit of pressure, but you can see Josh on bow is kind of working his way forward and back to try and get on every wave that they can. Heeling over there to get around that bomby mark, I think.
Little navigational hazard.
the last place you want your spinnaker to rub is down one of those.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's interesting that they have held it out for so long. They have just put the jibe in, as have a bunch of boats above them as well.
Yeah, they're quite high on port tack out of the pressure, and Red Pumps Red looks like they've jibed on a nice little vein along with Buckingham Marine and Modern Concept Constructions. Australian sailing team have also missed that shift. Big disparity at jibe angles between these lead boats.
Yeah.
We missed a bit of the 13s. They've only just got underway for the viewers at home, but they are spread from as far as Southend across here to the grottos. So there's no definitive way to go in the 13-foot skiffs at this point in time.
Yeah, and on screen there, it looks like Sutek are now in a real good puff with Red Pumps and MCC slowed down, and so their angle is almost opposite of what we saw before. Sutek are working hard to keep themselves above this bottom mark.
Yeah, they look pretty comfortable now. They're pushing hard still. I think they're just banking that there might be a bit more breeze coming to them.
Yep.
Plenty on though, they're going quick. Maybe even extended a little bit on the chasing pack. There is very nice breeze filling in from the right-hand side of the course right now, so I would think, though, I know Sutek won't because they're too far from this left-hand or left turn gate mark, but I think that's the mark to take right now. Get to the pressure and tack on it.
Yeah, well, they did really well there. A nice jibe drop right on the mark where everyone else above them has had to jibe and set again.
Now, what is Zoe going to do here? Is she going to jibe and drop? No, it looks like she's going to go to the right-hand mark as well. No, she's not.
Nope.
just as you say it, Dol.
Well, that's the way I wanted her to go.
Yeah.
So, not that I want to take anything away from my boys on the Sutek, but yeah, to me, this left-hand turn is definitely the turn to take right now. More pressure in the right-hand side, so port tack out to the pressure and then tack.
Yeah, so still really close racing in this top pack. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of pick their way upwind, especially with a big split on Sutek and Red Pumps Red.
Yeah, so Sutek, Red Pumps Red, Modern Concept Constructions, Canberra Airport, Buckingham Marine Services, and we did have the Australian sailing team take the right-hand turn, but we do believe that they're out of the race. Next in, we will have Barnabas Building IME, then Red Pumps Tyler Dransfield.
Yes, and I have just had confirmation that the Australian sailing team were black flag disqualification. And for those at home who are interested, the results for Race-7 are online already.
How good's that?
Yeah.
Mum hard at work.
She is hard at work. She loves it.
Next in after Red Pumps, we've got Red Concrete having a good race, along with Bartley Construction, Typhoon and Botany Access.
All right, we might start making our way up the course and have a look at how our 13 fleet are going.
Once again, a little bit of a build in the breeze pressure now. So Sutek just port tack getting across to the right a bit, just covering off on Buckingham and MCC, keeping them under control. Meanwhile, Red Pumps Red, they've just gone out of shot there now. They're sneaking across on the Sutek's left hip.
Yeah, and on screen now, that's our 13 fleet going around the mark for the first time, and the only kite I can see is Harkin which makes me think they had a really good first upwind and have put themselves in a good position.
A very good position. They are a long way in front after one beat.
They're not having a day to forget, are they, Jess? You haven't had anything else come through on them?
No, not that I've heard of.
Maybe they did find out about that disqualification in the earlier race and they've come out firing, Jimmy.
Well, it's the best way to respond to it, isn't it, Dole? Like, you know, just watching the Sutec boys and the boat's not dead flat. And, you know, just small things like that, like when you're in a position that you're not normally in, you just got to stay relaxed and keep at it. You know, they're probably tensing up, going, oh, we've got 1.5 laps to go. It's
spending too much time looking over their shoulder.
Yeah, just do what you did to get to where you got to in the first place and go on with it.
Yeah, great shot of Heidi and Orlando. Heidi crouched right in the boat to give Orlando as much space to stretch his legs, but I have also seen they've got a ferry coming in, one of our big ferries that they'll have to give way to, so I hope they've seen it, and it looks like maybe they have and they're going to try and get a jibe and sneak in front of it.
Try and get across it if they can,
Yeah, I think one of the last things you want to do is get stuck behind one of those ferries on a day like today.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you one thing, if they manage to get across it, none of the other fleet, the rest of the fleet will.
Yeah.
And that is going to really play into their hands and give them an extra step out. They will be gone. And to me, it looks like they might get across.
Yes. Yeah, I think our other 13's in the mix. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I can see, is that Kitchen Maker? We've got... Okay.
So you got the Imey, you got Buckingham Marine, you got Bigfoot, and
Buck and Simple.
You've got Buck and Simple and Imagine Signage all there, and the Kitchen Maker's over here behind the camera boat. It's legging it to try and get across in front of that ferry. So
and Taylor in Kitchen Maker's on a really good line of pressure there too. She's low and deep and going pretty fast.
Yeah, whereas I think most of our other 13s have gone for a jibe set, whereas Taylor's gone for a straight set and, yeah, got herself in a good line of breeze.
Yep. Just started to go bow up a little bit now, but in saying that, she should be able to get across there, and then when she jibes, she'll be bowed down again because she's just starting to lift. Nice work.
Yeah, and it seems like Ferry, thank you to the skipper on board who has come up a bit and given our 13s a bit of room to move, which is nice.
Well, I was speaking to Captain Cub, Captain Phil Barnett, that works for the Sydney Ferries, and he was saying in their break room they now have our schedule on there so they know to be nice.
So they know to be nice, or so they can tune in on their breaks?
Oh, so hopefully both, Dol. But,
shout out to all the ferry drivers and deckhands watching today.
Yeah, so it does look like our MCC 13 have needed to slow down a touch to go behind the ferry. So it's a bit unfortunate for them. They're going to cop all that ferry wake and potentially get a bit of bad air out the back.
Oh, and Sutec and Red Pumps Red, starboard tack to leeward of the ferry, so they are going to lose their breeze. This could have quite an influence. So they've tacked out now to try and escape that cover.
Well, they've done the best thing they possibly can, and that is tack over onto port, so your time in the hurt locker is as short as possible.
Yeah. So they've both just copped the big lull. Sutec back in some breeze now. And now Red Pumps Red too. They are low on port tack. So this will be interesting to see what Canberra Airport and MCC are still a fair way across. So they might have closed the gap a bit, but I still think they're still just a little bit off the pace. And I can see this battle is going to develop between Sutec and Red Pumps Red. Mikey Kerner, James Luera Fernandez and Joshy Ponton sailing a very, very good race thus far. I think they are going to, for 3 laps, I think they might have trouble holding Red Pump's Red off.
Yeah, but they're doing an excellent job so far.
Maybe Josh has been getting some sailing tips around the dinner table.
Yeah.
Josh's partner being the Australian champion 2 times now in 3 years.
Yeah, so it seems like they've tacked on the lay to the top mark now. They might be a bit below it actually, but we'll see how they go with the pressure when they get up there. But they have put themselves in a nice cover over Red Pump's Red, so it seems like they want it and they're going to fight for it.
Yeah, a little bit of pressure coming in, which should give them a bit of a lift. So I would expect Sutek should make it through here. A little bit of powerboat wash to contend with, but they're about to just get through that. You can see it on them now. That never really helps. Takes your pace off and you lose a bit of height.
Yeah.
You see that's happening to them right now.
And MCC just above Red Pump's Red on screen there have done really well out of this.
Yeah, easy lay now for the Sutek. In they come. Now, they haven't had 2 barrelways, haven't been ideal. Let's see how they do this time. So
Yeah,
they're going to
go
jibe set. So there is nice pressure filling in from that side. I'd expect we're going to see the majority of the boats here are going to jibe set. Modern Concept going for the straight set now. So they're going to chance their hand for at least a little bit. And in saying that, yeah, Sutek are bow up, as are Red Pumps.
Yeah, and I think the other thing you've got to be careful of with a jibe set is all the other boats heading across on starboard to the top mark.
A lot of dirty air.
Yep.
Yep. A whole procession of boats that you've got to get through their dirty air. A little bit of a wine glass on the Buckingham Marina, but they've got that out. And I'm just looking, there is some pressure filling in from the right-hand side, which could come into play for Modern Concept Constructions. But
Who's just
watch
jumped,
this space.
Dole, who's just jumped up the leaderboard is Typhoon.
Alex Hart.
Absolutely launched up the leaderboard.
Yep. Done very well.
Hopefully he wrote down which way he went up the last work, so he can do it again and he'll probably be in the lead.
Keep those notes. Canberra Airport, then Red Pumps.
Yeah, so on screen
Around.
there we've got good shot of Red Pump's Red with Sutek, that white kite behind. Yep. And now those little ferries on screen do give way to us.
They're meant to.
Or them. Yeah, so MCC, who just did a straight set, have put in their jibe now, so we'll keep an eye on how they fare down at the bottom. But it looks like they're on quite a good line at the moment.
Yeah, if they pick anything like the gusts that we got up towards the bottom end of the course on the last lap, which was left-hand pressure, building left-hand pressure, they should be in pretty good shape. And it looks to me like they're just starting to pick up a little bit of breeze there now. So as we get closer to the gate, it's a bit too early to tell how this is going to pan out. But I am liking what I am seeing for the Modern Concept Constructions right now. I think that was a nice move on their part. But until the two sides come together, we won't know. Sutek and Red Pumps Red do look like they've jibed on some nice pressure. But I don't think it's enough. I do think that Modern Concept is going to drive in front of them and lead them into this gate. Certainly close. MCC now driving.
Yeah, so MCC driving on what I think could be the lay. Sutek below them are struggling a bit in the pressure, trying to get themselves to the mark. The bottom mark is still a fair way away, so they've got time to make it back, but I think MCC have done a really excellent job here on just giving themselves some distance, picking the shifts, and yeah, making their way down to the bottom.
Yeah, while Sutek is overcooked, I think.
Yes.
They are underlaid on this gate, and they are going to struggle to get there with the kite on. Zoe Dransfield and Red Pumps Red looking like she's got a slightly better angle.
Yeah, so you can see Sutek on right of screen there, just really struggling. Unfortunate for them, because it is really hard to pick a lay that far out.
And the pressure is shifting and building and dropping so rapidly, so you never know when it's going to you're going to get it. But even Red Pumps Red now struggling to get to this mark. They're on a big gust, carting them away. Yeah. Sutek having to drop now, and Red Pumps are going to have to do the same.
The one time you don't want a gust is when it always arrives.
It's always super frustrating when you just want to go and use the gust and have a bit of fun, and you've got to take your kite down early. But Sutek handled it well, coming around in second.
Yeah, although it was difficult, they managed it well, didn't they?
Yes. Yep, so Buckingham Marine have also had to drop the kite early, and I think a fair few of them coming down who had jibe set at the top, all doing the same.
Typhoon the same. Australian sailing team, even though they're out of the results, they're struggling as well. So, quite a bit of pressure coming out from the left.
Behind us, there's coming in from the right is Canberra Airport
and Red Pumps.
And Red Pumps, and they're all cooked.
And Buckingham Marine.
Our series leader.
That's, super unfortunate for them. I think they just dropped their kite early, went for a two-sail jibe, and just didn't quite time it right.
This could mix things up a bit, couldn't it?
At least
it should be a pretty quick up and down. But
their kite was already in, and they are around the mark, so not bad timing, but they've let a few boats slip through.
Ruffy doing his best not to get his hair wet.
Looking good.
Yeah, so they haven't quite gone around a mark yet, so I think they'll have to do slight bear away here, and they'll go around the opposite mark, which is going to add a fair bit of time as well.
In the background of that shot, you got Amy Barnabas Build coming in way cooked.
Overcooked from the other side as well. Yeah, they haven't had a great day today.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate time to make a mistake in a short race. They've only got one more lap to go, so they're going to have to put on a big fight if they want to catch up what they've lost. But as we saw with Typhoon, Canberra Airport, MCC have all made massive gains this race, so it's not over till it's over.
So right turn from Barnabas Building, and left turn from Aristocrat and Red Concrete, while Geochemical Assessments jibing around the right-hand turn. So that has been a little tricky run that has really thrown a spanner in the works.
For everyone. For a lot of the teams, actually.
So in terms of the overall, this is going to really mix things up a bit, I think. We'll have discards to take into account. But see how the points stack up at the end of the day.
For those following our 13s, I can see our Harkin 13 are about to head around the top mark for the second and last time for them. Seems like they still have a comfortable lead. And there they are on screen. They've gone for a jibe set.
Yeah, probably not as big a, that's a 16 going around behind them, but probably not as big a lead as they had on the previous lap. A big distance in front of third, but second place has managed to close in a little bit. which is, who's that second place boat at the top?
Buckingham Marine 13-foot
Okay.
skiff at Schnapper.
Thank you, Jimmy. Always relying on your better eyesight. My poor old eyes.
I'm just guessing, Dole. my extended eyes are hidden up in here, mate, the binoculars.
Your binos.
Yeah, there's a great shot of MCC on screen there. So they have taken this right side out a fair way and have tacked back, and there is, yeah, really nice pressure on the course now. So I think some of our crews will be really enjoying this and, yeah, kind of switching gears, making sure they're settling in for a bit more breeze.
The MCC just making sure they stay between their opposition and the next mark. So at the moment they're just stepping out to the left-hand side of the course a little bit compared to their mark. Be interesting to see if they decide to put a tack in just to cover off on their opposition, or whether they're happy to just riding on the line of pressure and shift that they've got at the moment.
Yeah, great split shot there of the leaders of both of our races, so Harkin and MCC. Yeah, just crossing over each other. So yeah, really cool to see Harkin picking up this right side of the course and sailing downwind on it as well.
The MCC have just decided to stay on that. They're on the making tack, so they're on the closer tack to the mark, so the best VMG to the mark. So rather than covering off on their opposition, they've decided to stay on that tack, keep their manoeuvres to a minimum as well at the same time.
And there's our second 13 with the grey kite coming down.
But MCC with a handy little lead now. They should be able to conservatively hang on to that, so they're now just going to put in a tack and step up to the ley line.
Alright, and we might just follow Harkin down as they are approaching the finish line. I think they have, yeah, picked a really nice work down here. They're riding the waves really comfortably. You can see Orlando adjusting himself. Heidi positioning her body really nicely to kind of ride the waves but not get too on top of them. You can see their crew work is just absolutely constant. Orlando moving back and forth, Heidi now in the boat, the kite rolling ever so slightly.
Although they've been contesting the club championships together here at Manly, and as I mentioned, they have been sailing Jimmy's fire-stopping 16. In January, they didn't sail together for the national championships, and Heidi managed to win the 13-foot skiff nationals with a different crew, and meanwhile Orlando was down in Tasmania winning the 29er Australian Championship. So plenty of silverware in the on the mantelpiece for those two this year. But great to see them sailing again and leading this club championship heat.
Yeah, and it's also really nice. They always speak so highly of each other and they have a lot of respect for each other, and yeah, I think that's so important in a boat where you can trust the person that you're sailing with. So yeah, good on them.
Both very talented young sailors and definitely ones to watch for the future here in Australia, regardless of where they end up sailing at what boats. But both very ambitious about their sailing future. MCC around the top mark now. Oh, great set. That spinnaker was up. Oh, it just flagged it a little. That looked like the perfect set. They're only a boat length from the mark and the kite was up and setting.
Yeah, and it looks like Sutek will be around next, followed by Red Pumps Red.
Managed to hang on the Sutek, keeping second place. Nice work.
And there is the horn for Harkin, so they got it this time. No disqualification, well done to them.
And I'm pretty confident that will probably sew up the club championship for them with a heat to spare.
Not bad with a BFD thrown in there.
Yep.
Been able to do it with a heat to spare.
They'll drop the BFD, and hopefully that's, yeah, you do only get one drop. So they can't afford another bad one, but they are pretty comfortable. Just off screen, Buckingham Marine Services 13 will be second, ahead of Imagine Signage. So there's the Buckingham Marine.
Little Waxman Napper.
Not so little anymore, Jimmy.
Well, compare if he stands beside Kobe, perfect.
Yes. Final approach, here they come.
Yeah, across the line, well done to them. They had a really good race, that race. And here's our 16 leader, MCC, coming downwind.
Next through in the 13s, we had Imagine Signage with Bo Dransfield and David Tulk. Good solid third position for them. Lockie Jansen looks to be next on Buck and Simple, probably in a tight tussle with Taylor Lees on the Kitchen Maker. So back to our 16 action. MCC, Modern Concept Constructions, about halfway down the run now. There's Taylor Lees, sorry, flicking back again. But yeah, here we are. We've got Kurt Hansen, Chris Williams and Jackson Cranfield. A couple more jibes and they'll be down at the finish. Very comfortable lead now. And I'm happy to say, right now, Sutek are managing to hang on to that second place. But Zoe Dransfield giving chase in the red pumps, and it's not over yet.
Yeah, they seem to be on a nice line there, MCC. They will have to put another jibe in, but hopefully just one jibe to the finish for them. There's a really great shot as well to show just how close Sutek and Red Pumps Red have been, as they have been all race. So Zoe on Red Pumps putting in an early jibe, seeing if she can work some magic to get herself in front of Sutek.
Yeah, look, just following their line, she wasn't going to pass them, so
Exactly.
really needed to throw something at them. Maybe try and getting them to jibe as well and engage them, and hoping that Sutek might make a mistake. But instead, Sutek has elected to continue on and try and do a one and in. Now, let's hope they pick a better lay line than they have thus far today.
Yes.
There's the Sutek have just jibed, and there's MCC crossing the line
To take the win. Congratulations to MCC, Kurt Hansen, Chris Williams and Jackson Cranfield taking out Heat 8 of the Manly 16s Club Championship.
Yeah, they just did so well on that second downwind to put a split on the pack and pick a good line. And then they held their lead for the last lap, so yeah, good job to them. On screen now, Red Pumps Red have jibed back. And they have just picked up on a really nice gust here, so it's close. Sutek have a slight advantage being on starboard. It's going to be a tight finish.
Sutek will get there, I think, Jess.
Yep. So well done, but well done to Red Pumps Red as well for just trying something different. They've just overdone this mark here, so they're going to have to go for an early drop and just sneak inside But yeah, they had some good distance on fourth, so it was worth them taking a bit of a risk and giving it a go.
Oh, and well done to Zoe, Hugh and Jamie too on a consistent day, a first and a third.
Yeah, tricky day to be consistent, but yeah, they showed us they were best out on the water overall today.
Into the Sutec team of Mike, Josh and James. Excellent race from them. Well done.
Right, so Red.
Not sure what Red
Yeah.
Pumps is
Are
doing.
they a lap down or are they
No,
just
surely
being
not.
very
Dog.
silly? Yeah, they're being very silly and that's cost them 2 places.
Oh,
So
now their
Canberra
kart's gone
Airport
back up
next
again.
through.
And Typhoon get
And
through.
Typhoon, Alex Hart, well done. That's a good race for those guys. So Red Pumps, I'm not quite sure what was going on there. They thought they had a lap to go, but everyone else in front of them had gone through the finish.
The effects of lunch, I think, Dol.
Quite possibly, Jimmy. But
Yeah, next we've got the Australian sailing team, who we know were black flag disqualification, and then Buckingham Marine, probably not quite the race they wanted.
so that'll be a 7th place for Buckingham.
Not what you want.
No. I would expect that will probably be their drop. I don't think they've had one worse that bad thus far in the championship.
Ruffy normally opens up the club champs with his worst. Normally, Dol, so
So it could be possible. Do you
it
think?
could be possible.
Joel Beechel next through with Zach Barnabas and the ageless Rob Napper.
Yep, you were correct, Dolly. I think Buckingham Marine's worst race before this was a 6th.
Okay.
So they'll hold on to that and drop the 7th.
So that is quite an influence because they were dropping a 6 and now they're going to have to carry that 6. So it'll be interesting to see how those points stack up. We will have results up online as quickly as we can if you want to go online to Manly 16s and check the results a little later. But this, I think we've seen a real shake-up in the championship now.
There's the Aristocrat on screen, Dol. Last one of the tail end Charlies coming in. They've done reasonably well. The boat that sort of let me down a bit today was the geochemical assessments.
Yeah, they didn't have a great day, did
He's
they?
been firing all this year, and this year today just decided to bring the bad apple out with him.
And generally they tend to go okay in the bottom end of the range too, I've got to say.
Doesn't mind sending it and doesn't mind the bottom end of the range.
Yeah.
It's just that mid-range
A
where
little
he
bit in
sort
the
of
middle.
lacks interest.
So Daryl Millam in Aristocrat over there with Liam Karunaratne and Kobe Napper. Daryl, the old wise head, teaching the young pups new tricks, setting them up for their career. And I really look forward to one day hopefully seeing the entire Napper clan on a 16 together.
That would be pretty good.
Yeah. I know Rob's pretty keen to make that happen sometime, but only when they're all ready, including himself.
Well, he's definitely fit enough, Rob, to hang around for long enough for Ashman to graduate himself up into the 16s. There's the Fire Tech. It's the first time I think it's finished 2 races in a day in its life of that day.
Well done to the young team on board. So on the Fire Tech we had Gemma Hopkins steering with Ollie Barrett and Joe Corbell.
Altus just sneaking in there nicely with Red Concrete finishing closely as well.
Well, tight finish between Fire Tech and Red Concrete there. Very close. Red Concrete with Nathan Lilly steering Seb and Sam Skeen. Harry Thomas on the Botany Access, not quite as good as his first race, but still an admirable finish for a young guy. And then we'll have Buck and Simple, Tom Cameron.
Well, Dole and Jess, I think we might put the queue in the rack and head on home. But to all the viewers, thank you for sticking around and watching our coverage rather than that other sailing event that's going on in Auckland.
Was there something, what was that?
Something was going on over there apparently.
Yes.
But yes, as Dole alluded to, tune in next Saturday for the live stream of the Botany Bay Championship, the 116th running of the Botany Bay Championship. Should be quite a event to try and cover. I don't think I've covered one live streaming before, so be a whole new adventure going across the runways at least twice.
Yeah.
So we'll work that bit out. But thank you and congratulations, Jess, on your wonderful news of getting engaged, and thanks for helping out today.
Always great to have you on board, Jess. Thanks.
We love having Jess on board. Dole, thank you very much as well. To Jono, Piers and Chits, thank you very much. And to young Mitch Bury, who's jumped on today to help out as our assistant, as young Sammy is off sick. Hopefully he comes back tomorrow.
Sammy, if you're watching, hope you're feeling better.
Yeah, we'll check in with young Sammy tonight, and if not, I'll convince that young son of mine that he might be employed again tomorrow. But thank you very much for everyone for watching. This has been a Sail Media production for the Manly 16-foot Skiff Sailing Club.
Good afternoon.